Just imagine you've got a job in Scotland. So every month you get your paycheck, you have a look at it, and you can see on that payslip you've got your salary minus the deductions, tax, national insurance, and then that's what you actually get per month. A lot of people look at that bottom amount, how much they're actually going to get paid in their bank, they move on with their life. They try to avoid looking at the tax, looking at national insurance, because it's depressing. You can be making really good money, but all those deductions just make the actual amount you take home a lot smaller. Yes, it's super annoying and depressing. However, I think it's very important to understand how the income tax system works in the UK. In this video, I'm going to look at specifically Scottish income tax under £100,000. I'll do an addition or maybe an explanation later on over £100,000, what changes. And I'll do a separate video on England as well because the brackets are different, so I want to keep it separate. So let's just get started. Firstly, what's important to know is that you have a tax-free allowance. So everyone in the UK has a tax-free allowance of just over £12,000. What that means is that if your salary is small, so for example you have a part-time job that pays you 500 quid a month, your salary will be £6,000 a year. That's going to be within that tax-free bracket of 0%, and you're going to pay zero tax overall. Even if you make more, if you make £1,000 a month, times that by 12, it's £12,000 a year. Again, you're still within the tax-free allowance in that year, therefore you don't have to pay any tax at all. Not every country has that, that's a really good advantage. However, I think Scotland more than makes up for it with higher salaries. As you get higher, you just get taxed, boom, 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 more and more and more. It's really frustrating, but it is the way it is. So the first tax-free allowance, just over 12 grand, tax-free, you don't get taxed on it. As you start making more, you then go into the next bracket. I think the Scottish, whoever has done those brackets, I think it's out of nowhere. I have no idea why they've made it like that. They try to be different. It makes no sense to me. But anyways, they have a bit of a couple of £1,000 above 12 grand where you're taxed at 19%. So you're going from 0% up to 19% for your tax as you earn more. Then when you reach £14,000, £14,800, but you're going to the 20% tax bracket, that's for about £12,000, so up to 26k per year. Then above the 26k per year, you're going into the 21% tax bracket. So you can see 19, 20, 21. I completely disagree with it. I don't think there's any point in it whatsoever. However, that's the way it's been done. Above the 26k and up to the 43k, you're at 21% tax. So you're going from 0 to 19% to 20% to 21%. In reality, 19 to 20 to 21, you're not going to feel that difference. You know, when you go into that next tax bracket, paying an extra 1% tax, it's not going to rob you. It's gonna you will hardly feel the difference. But when you get to £43,662, any penny or pound you earn above that will get taxed at 42%. And there is a huge jump. So all the way before that, you were getting charged at 21%. And now you're earning more and you're getting charged at 42%. That's insane. That's a double the amount of tax. If that wasn't enough, once you reach a certain level of your career, you'll be making 75,000 potentially if you're lucky. You go above that, you're at 45% tax. So 42, you get another 3% tax slapped onto you and you have to pay it. There's no choice. And then above 125k, you're at 48%. So it gets closer and closer to half of your income gone because of tax. Let's just have a look at some other examples. So we looked at 12 grand. What if you make 14,500 per year? Well, what that means is that the first 12,571 gets taxed at 0. That's your tax-free allowance, that stays that way. And then the rest of it, which is 1,929 that's left, will get charged at 19% because that is the tax bracket for that amount, which is £366, and that's what your bill is going to be for the year. Let's go up a little bit more. Let's say you're now making 20,000. Well, as always, you have your tax-free allowance, 12,571. That gets taxed at 0. You then have your full bracket of 19% being used up, 2,296. So for that, you pay £436 a year tax. And then the rest of that 20 grand, the remainder, which is 5,133, is in the 20% tax bracket. So you pay 20% on that, which is £1,026.60. So in that case, you pay £1,462 in tax for that amount of money. Let's go again. You are doing super well. You're going from 500 a month to 1,000 a month to here almost 2,000 a month. Let's say now you are making, let's just say 3,000 a month. 3,000 a month times 12 months. That's £36,000. So if you gross 3,000 per month before any deductions, that's 36,000 per year. And what happens here is, what happens here is you have your tax-free allowance, as with any income that we've talked about already. That's a 0%. Then you've got your 19% bracket that you max out. You get taxed the £436. You then max out the 20% bracket. So you get charged £2,338 on that. And then the rest of that money is in the 21% tax bracket. That's the remainder of the money here because you're under the 43k. So you get taxed 1,982 on that. And then your overall tax is all of them summed together, which is £4,757. So as you can see, that's kind of how it grows. But now let's see what happens if you get into the 42% bracket. So imagine your salary is £43,662. Well, in that case, you pretty much max out all of your brackets up to 21%, and your overall tax is £6,366. Now you are in danger zone. When you start going above that extra income, remember, not the whole income, just that extra income, will get taxed at 42%. So you're going to get like half of what you are entitled to. So imagine the situation. You are a teacher in a school. Your current salary is £43,662. You have worked your bollocks off to try and get a promotion. You have been teaching, you've been doing everything, and you want to get up to that next level. You want to go higher. So after years of work, finally you get that promotion. You get this new job, it's amazing, it's better salary. Let's see what happens on the tax front. So you're at £43,662 currently. So that means you pay £6,366 in tax. This is what you currently pay. You get that amazing promotion and you get, let's say you get a big increase. Let's say you get a 20% increase on your salary. So let's take that amount of money and then we times that by 1.2. So that's a 20% increase. Now you are making 52,394. So you worked super hard, you got that promotion, you got 20% pay rise, you've celebrated with your family, things are so good, fantastic. Well, now your new tax is just over £10,000. So you pay £6,366 in tax. After your pay rise, you pay £10,033 in tax. Your old salary was £43,662. Your new salary is 20% higher. So you got that promotion finally, is 20% higher. Take home pay before you got the promotion was this minus the tax, and after you got the promotion is this minus the tax as well. This divided by this 0.13. So what that means is that there's a 13% difference between those two numbers. And what that means is that before you were working, you had less responsibility, you were really trying to get that promotion, you finally got that promotion, things are great, you've been given a really good pay rise of 20%, but in terms of your take-home pay, because you're in a higher bracket, that 20% pay rise is only a 13% pay rise in reality. So that's almost half. So just keep in mind that when you exceed the £43,662 in Scotland, you will be paying more tax, and every pay rise you get above that level is actually going to be significantly less. It's not ideal, but that's the way it is. There's a lot of things that they need to fund in Scotland and in the UK, so they have to do this tax, but hopefully that makes sense. Before I finish the video, let me just show you a few examples. So if you're at £70,000, you're about below 75, so you max out all of those, and you are 26,000 in the 42%, so you pay this much in tax, and overall 17k. If you're at say 95,000, you are going into the 45% bracket for some of it, and you pay this much tax. So very, very tricky situation with that. All those brackets are a bit confusing, but hopefully this spreadsheet gives you a very simple way of looking at it, calculating it. I will upload this with all the formulas with my video. I hope you enjoyed, and stick around for more videos. I'll do one in England, one above 100k, etc.